man. What are y'all doing? As always, the lighting in here is completely jacked up. Mario Lord Sequeira? Hello. How are you? Where are you from in the world? Oh, 9 people watching. What's up, YouTube? I don't know where you're all from. I've just kind of been debating whether to kickstart this channel up, which is my main channel. I do have another channel, which is more like food related. But for all the fans that know me on or know me and my history, what's up, guys? I know some of you have been like, "Oh, where's TND gone?" I have been meaning to like kickstart this channel up again because actually I've got like 2,300 subs. It's been a long time since I've done any modeling, and I just took a long break. I think it's been about 3 years since I did my model kit. I think it might have been the Machining Krieger, one of the SAFs or something, and I started another kit, the Panzer by NZ Models Industry, which is a resin kit which I need to finish. There's so many projects that I've got on, but I've been painting 40k stuff of late, which I should have filmed, but because I haven't been doing Games Workshop figure painting for a while, I was a bit worried about how they turn out. And I've got I've got 2 left to do with the Dark Angel Knights. My painting, it's not bad, but it definitely room for improvement and getting back to like figure painting and stuff like that, which I haven't done for a long time. And like I said, I do respect people that do Warhammer stuff because it is very, very skillful. So right now I'm just drawing at the moment. Big shout out to the TMD crew. When I had my business, I remember that this period of time around that year, I was always super busy packing boxes and getting stuff out before Christmas. William Barry 8015. Oh, dang, that's some serious drawing, man. Thanks, bro. You probably can't see what's going on due to the angle, but I'm working on this girl, which you probably can't see very well on camera. So yeah, I'm just working on the head at the moment. Thanks, William. I don't know if you know me personally off FB, or if you're an old TMD customer, or if you just come in and randomly saw my live feed. Nice to meet you, man. Thanks for chiming in. So yeah, like I said, I've just been working on Warhammer stuff of late. As you can see here, got four done there. You're just scrolling. Okay, William, thanks for coming in, man. I don't know where you are in the world, but awesome, man. Like I say, if you do click off, I do wish you a really good Christmas and all that. Happy New Year. I'm still working on this. These kits or figures are quite vintage, and I bought these one day because the shop in Japan, it was closing down, and I got a bit of a sale on these. Are you from Cali, man? Big up Cali in the building. And yes, I just got back into painting Warhammer after like decades, and I mean decades, right? And yeah, my painting's all right. Basically, this is my studio, William. I'm an artist, or modeler, not Playboy model, a Playgirl. But yeah, this is my studio setup. Got all the compressors there and all the tools and kits for model kits. But yeah. So what you doing in California, man? It must be like super hot out there, right? Out in California. Yeah, actually, I didn't know that for a long time that people could just randomly watch live feeds and stuff like that. Because I was always wondering, like, who are these people? These are not my subscribers. I don't know who they are. Oh, you retired? Oh, awesome, man. Oh, I wish I was retired. If I was retired, I'd be doing this every day. If my eyesight's still good. But being in my mid-40s and having 3 kids and whatnot, I am supposed to be a trained illustrator, which I graduated at university for in the UK. But as things went, I never really pursued illustration as quote unquote a career. I don't know why people keep telling me, "Oh, why didn't you become an illustrator?" Well, it's easier said than done. And now I just do drawing as a hobby. But I have had people ask me like, "Oh, Dan, you need to start selling your artwork, get an exhibition set up." If I had to guess, I would say you're a high achiever. Oh, thank you, William. Kind of. To give you a rundown, I've been living in Japan for 16 years. Originally from the UK. I have many hobbies that include photography, art, books, animation, cycling, swimming, cooking, traveling, and an array of other things as well. Um, and yeah, obviously art is my main passion. Um, and I always get envious of people that are like made it in the industry. But the thing is with me with commercial art is that I don't like having boundaries set by design companies. I like to just be free and do whatever I want to do. But yeah, thank you, William. Give me some backstory on you, man. Obviously, you're retired. No doubt you're going to be having a real busy Christmas. I don't know if you got grandkids or anything like that. In terms of California, yeah, I definitely would love to visit California, man. I've got a few friends that live out there, my old customers. Big shout out to Ed, of which I still need to send you some chocolate from Japan, Ed, if you're watching. I do apologize, it's been like a couple of years. But just to give you an insight, when I had my business, I had my toy export business for maybe about 5 years, and due to the COVID thing, I don't know. Can we still talk about that on YouTube? I don't know, because I know back in the day when all that was going on, YouTube would take down videos. I don't know what the rule is now. I think it's maybe all right to talk about it, but yeah, it crippled my business because I could not send items out. I couldn't ship out to people, and since that time, Japan Post is back on track, but now the shipping for stuff is absolutely crazy, right? And it just ruined my business, man, unfortunately. But at that point, when I stopped doing it, when I stopped exporting toys, it was probably a good time. It was kind of a blessing in disguise, almost. I don't know, because it started to get really like on top of me. It's really hard work. You know what I mean? And doing e-commerce by yourself is not easy, especially like the volumes that I was doing work at was like pretty mad. You know what I mean? Oh, let me swap out, man. Hey, hello. Let me chat to the camera. Probably it's kind of maybe a little bit boring me watching me draw. I don't know. That's horrible. That stupid scandemic. Yeah. I mean, I'm not. I mean, when I did the business right, without blowing my own trumpet here, I did a very, very good job. I was one of the first people in the world to start selling Disney Star Wars kits out of Japan. Been in a few magazines. People say I'm one of the best sellers out of Japan at that time. Thank you very much. Supplied some stores around the world: Chile, England, Belgium, where else? Some EU countries as well. But when that happened, man, I was like, oh my God. Because what I had to do is that some customers had already paid for like low shipping. Then COVID hit, and then obviously it left me in a real bad way because I couldn't like let my customer down and say, oh, sorry, you have to pay a bit more for shipping. It's too late. Japanese people are amazing. Yeah, to a certain degree, William. They're not all I don't know how to say this without being rude, but yeah, you got to remember that in Japan, right? And this is something that got me for quite a long time, is that Japanese people are just like me and you, right? They speak a different language, they look different. Yes, they have their own customs and whatnot, but saying that, they're just like me and you. So, like I said, not everyone is perfect here or in the world even. But for some reason, like you've just said, like a lot of Westerners um think that all Japanese people are super polite, super courteous, and da 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 da. That's kind of a myth. But generally speaking, William, yeah, you're right. But in some instances, no. If you don't mind me asking, William, what was your past career? And what's life like living in California, the Sunshine State? You know, after spending 16 years out here, um, I do kind of miss living in the UK. Um, I think the kind of the allure of living out here is definitely gone now. It's just a fact of like staying alive. The Bee Gees song, and grinding out work and whatnot. Oh, you're a mechanic. Oh, awesome, man. If you like cars and stuff, man, obviously Japan is a cool country to visit. Like if you want to visit some of the car factories, Mazda, Toyota, Nissan. Yeah, I used to work actually for not as a mechanic, but as a car detailer for Mercedes Benz in the UK. So a lot of my friends are mechanics, and I've got to say, big shout out to Mitchie and Stuart at Mercedes UK, is that having mechanic friends is a godsend, because you know I had problems with my car. I'd get shit fixed for free. Might cost me like a crate of beers or whatever for my friends. But yeah, it's really handy having mechanics as friends. I'm in the Californian desert, nice town, small town living. Yeah, my friend Ed, Mr. Adu D2, man. He lives in on the, what's it called, Ferrera Street, where all those hookers hang out. And he sends me like videos of like his CCTV of what goes on there. It's pretty mad, man. I know it's well documented on YouTube about Ferrella Street or something. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation. Mercedes are built so well. Yeah, well, actually, the weird thing about Mercedes, right, is when I worked there for like 3 or 4 years. And a lot of the mechanics said that the cars were shit. In terms of because I was a detailer, right? Um, I'm not a mechanic, but like I think German cars with auto box transmissions are amazing. I do think though that some of the interior options for like kind of semi-standard, that's the one, Figuera Figuera Street. Yeah, that place is nuts, man. That place is wild. Yeah, my friend lives on that street, and he shows me stuff and tells me stuff about it, and it's proper crazy, man. But yeah, going back on the car thing, yeah, I'll tell you a funny story. Obviously, Mercedes plant is in Germany, and if some of our customers, our dealership, Mercedes offer this thing where you can actually do like a VIP pickup, and basically some customers used to fly out to Germany. They'd pick up their car from the plant. They'd get a guided tour, and then they would drive back all the way from like Germany into England. So that would consist of going over France and then catching the ferry. But one particular day, yes, a rough neighborhood. Yeah, man, I know, it's crazy, man. I was working on a Mercedes ML. I can't remember if it was a 580 or something. I can't remember. But obviously, when cars come from Germany, they come on a transporter, and they're just basically in a mess, right? There's obviously interior, external stickers, decals. Also, the cars are actually, when they leave the factory, they're sprayed with like this kind of solution. I don't know. It's like, I could only describe it as like beeswax. It's kind of like they spray it to protect the car, the paint and stuff like that. It's real thick. And then when it comes to us, we obviously have to take all the plastics out, remove all the decals, sticker solution cleaner, and then we use VFR solution, which is like made by Autoglim. Don't know if you can get, I think you can get Autoglim in America. And yeah, you spray this on and it just cuts through all the grease and shit, and it cuts through that kind of like this wax spray that they use. But anyway, I'm waffling on. Yeah, I was working on a Mercedes GL or ML, and I'm vacuuming the car out, and the vacuum was like, I was like, oh shit, it's caught something. What's this? And I picked out, and it was a frigging 1 cent coin or a dollar coin from America. So I was asking my friend, like, why is this American like dollar? And apparently, a lot of the RVs or 4x4s manufacturing is done in the US. And I think it's done in New Mexico, of all places. So actually, a lot of people, oh, the Mercedes-Benz are all like coming out of Germany or certain plants, but not the MLs. I think they're all, I don't know if the engines have been put in the US and then they get shipped back. I don't know if you know anything about that, William, but yeah, I just found that pretty interesting. Yeah, it was kind of funny to see that this car had once been in the US. I think most 4x4s maybe produced in America. Susan B. Anthony coin. Yeah, that's the one, man. So what cars do you like then, man? Shelby? Like Shelby's, man. Dodge. Still like the Viper, man. The old American muscle cars. Hello, yeah, I used to work at a Ford truck plant. Parts come from all over. Oh, hi, Chris. Yeah, thanks for confirming that, Chris. Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. It is pretty wild. I think maybe this was the situation where the ML was probably made in the US or whatever, and then it was shipped back to Europe, and then it came out of the European Mercedes plant. That's what I'm thinking. But I do remember looking inside the interior in the engine block, and I do recall something like New Mexico, I can't remember. I like old simple cars. I like the years of 55, 60, 55 to 65. Yeah, man. I love old British cars. Oh, really? Nice, man. Like the old Jaguars, XJs. It's a real sad shame, though, that a lot of the British companies have been sold out. Being sold out, unfortunately. No doubt you guys like watching Top Gear. I think Top Gear, the TV show, is quite popular in the US. Not sure, but I know Top Gear is quite a fan-loved show that's been broadcasted worldwide. Obviously, it's not on anymore. And I do have a friend. Oh God, I haven't spoke to this guy for a long time. He used to work in Detroit for Chrysler. Is it Chrysler? GM? Yeah, yeah, Jeremy Clarkson, man. Yeah, you know. Well, actually, without getting too much into detail, so my last big job that I worked on for about 4 years is I was actually the first in-house QA assistant or games tester for the game Gran Turismo. So yeah, cars. I know a little bit about. I tell you what. Oh yeah, I'll tell you a quick story. One of my favorite ever cars, and I think there was only maybe 25 to 30 ever made, which is in GT7. I think. Is it? Yeah, it is. Was the Jaguar XJ220. I do know, like, at that time, back in the mid-90s, I think that's when the car was produced, a few celebrities, aka what's it, Elton John, he had one, and I think a few others. And it was my favorite ever supercar at that time. And one day, I don't know if it was even Christmas Day, I can't remember. It was a one day when it wasn't busy on the motorway, or you guys say highway, and I was filling up the gas station. And I was filling up, and I just heard this, like, what the fuck's that, man? And it was, lo and behold, a Jaguar XJ220. I couldn't believe my eyes, and it was in my local area, because I know, like, there's not many of those Jags made. And looking back at those cars now, yeah, they're fucking big things. But that was pretty interesting. As a young guy, you know, seeing those supercars. But as William said, and this is what my dad said, is like the problem with modern day cars is that there are too much electronics in them, right? My dad likes very simple car builds, pre all that electronic crap. And this is a thing that was kind of nerked me at Mercedes, and I know BMW do this as well. I think maybe all the car companies do it now, is when they have like the internal ECU units where, oh, your car needs an A service or a B service or a C service, and you can't turn that shit off. It's like it manually overrides stuff on your dashboard, and you can't get that off unless you go to the dealership and get an A service. That's what Merc call it. Exactly, Chris. M0034. They don't want you to be. It's a bit like Apple Macs as well. Anything nowadays. Or if you break this seal, it voids warranty. It's stupid, man. To cut a long story short, my MacBook, my Apple Mac, I decided to replace it a new battery, and I got one off Amazon for fairly cheap. And I know, like, you know, when you buy stuff off the internet, you do take a risk when it's like third party stuff, right? So it is what it is. But anyway, I replaced the battery in my MacBook, and it wasn't super hard to do. Obviously, I'm a bit nervous, like fiddling around with stuff like that. But I'm not the most kind of technical guy when it comes to like repairing PCs or electronics. But anyway, I managed to do it. Everything worked, and then I realized that my MacBook only works with the cable plugged in. So I don't know if it's like a defective battery or something's loose, but it doesn't hold charge, which I'm thinking is some sketchy, dodgy battery from Taiwan or China. That on the or it could be that the motherboard's fried, or there's some like power drain somewhere. But anyway, it does the job. I can still use it. Not that I'm going to carry my MacBook anyway on the train. I can't really use it that. So it didn't really bother me. But again, the old MacBooks had a very easy on like, is it like the 2000 versions? They had in the back of the MacBook, there was like this little kind of like ring, and you just twist that out and just take the battery out, so you could put a new battery in, which makes life fucking easy. But after that, Apple and their corporate bullshit decided to, on the Retina versions, is to discontinue that kind of system of replacing the battery, which was really annoying. So as Chris has said in the chat, like they don't want people, you know, trying to fix things by themselves anymore, which is the most stupidest logical thing. Because, you know, I know you guys are probably, maybe, obviously, William's retired, and I don't know how old you are, Chris, but what's up, Mike? Long time no see, Michael. Yeah, like people of our generation, people back in the day would fix things by themselves, right? You learn how to fix things. You have tools to do that shit. Nowadays, please take it to the repair center. You know, oh, you can't. Oh, we can't fix it now because you removed the seal. It's just the things that, or how things are going in the world right now, man. It's complete madness. Michael, how you doing, man? But yeah, I'm trying to find my bloody channel on here. How you doing, Mike? I'm just gonna get back in the chat. Give me 2 seconds, man. Williams put, yeah, that 220 as well. There's one on Jelena. The thing was loud, so they had to have the headsets on. Oh, really? Wasn't it that rear wheel? I know the engine block's in the back, yeah. Positive. Electronics is absolutely ridiculous. Yep. I cut up a 90s Accord. Oh, really? A Honda that belonged to the boss's son. That thing had 1 billion miles of wires in it. I'm sure they got way more now. Yeah, I can imagine, man. Also, as well, is that my mechanic friends at Merck, sometimes they'd have like problems with diagnostic issues when they like put the I don't know what you call it, like the diagnostics tool where they plug it into the engine block or whatever, and they get diagnostics about the car. And sometimes my mates, they'd have problems trying to fix things because they didn't know how to do it, because this is German engineering, right? And yeah, they would have to call the Mercedes plant in Germany to get it some certain stuff like fixed, or get like instructions on how to fix it. But yeah, it's like like William said, like nowadays things are not meant to last, right? I'm too hot. Things are not meant to last. Things are meant to like just disintegrate and blow up. We just live in the most stupidest world, man, right now, man. Do you currently have a car since you're in Japan? When I visited, I rode the train everywhere. Well, me and my wife, obviously, Chris, I don't have a license here. Nor do I want to have a license for a number of reasons. But basically, because we got like 3 kids now. Before my wife, when we had the first child, we had a small Nissan, and then we got another Nissan Carrera MPV, which is used. But the wife's mother has a lot of connections, and one of her connections is a guy that owns a garage. So we asked him, like, oh, can you find us like a decent car for a good price? And we got that used, and it's running all right. It's no major issues. But yeah, it's one of those Japanese MPV cars, which are moving people vehicle. But generally speaking, yeah, I catch the train everywhere. When did you come to Japan, man? That's awesome. You got 3 kids. Yeah, well, it's hard work, man. As Mike in the chat will know. Mike's one of my longtime friends, customers. If he's still in the chat. Yeah, I mean, cars now are just completely stupid. To give you an instance, what's up, Jason? Our DVD player in the car is faulty. It's broken. It basically doesn't eject discs. This is how ridiculous this is. So I had to take out the whole fucking dashboard of the car. I didn't tell my wife this, by the way, because she'd have seen me taking the whole car, the full front dashboard to pieces. She would have shit herself. She's like, oh, what are you doing? Anyway, yeah, because of a DVD was stuck in the drive, I had to take off like the whole front section of the car. Because, back in the day, you guys will know, you'd get like removable car stereos, right? It's on like an internal frame, and you just put like clips of it in, and the whole thing pulls out. Not nowadays. Everything's inbuilt, and it's like, for fuck's sake, man. Just ridiculous. Nothing is made easy anymore, bro. It's just like, and it was one of the kids' DVDs, like on this Amperman shit, I spent a day like doing that, man. It's like, oh, just to get a DVD out, kids' DVD was nuts. Chris has put, I was in Osaka for a month, literally a year ago during the Black Friday. Oh, awesome, man. Yeah, right now, Japan is going through a really weird situation now. I don't want to get too like into politics or what's going on here, but there's kind of since COVID, I think Japan was one of the countries that was the last to like kind of like open its borders up to people. And since that time, the government here have just been complete idiots, right? And they devalued the yen because they wanted tourists to come here and get the whole economy kickstarted again. Of which, in the media, maybe it's on other channel outlets, it talks about Japan having over tourism, right? I'm all for tourism. I'm all for tourism. Yeah, I'm not against it. But we do get a lot of like tourists here that just act like complete idiots. I'm not gonna lie. Japan 20, 30 years ago was one of those countries where you probably needed a bank loan to come here. Yeah. And I think back then Japan was like the 20th most visited country in the world, like to go on holiday. Now it's kind of up there because travel now to Japan has become extremely cheap. Yeah. The government devalued the yen. So any foreigners that come here get tax breaks. And for you guys that come here, like ordering food or going to hotels, it's extremely cheap. But for people like myself that live here, it's expensive. Cost of living's gone up. I know everywhere's gone up, right? But when you've got a yen that's fully like devalued now, it makes it hard for us people to go on holiday. Like it costs for me to go to the South Japan, it cost maybe over $1,000. It's maybe 60,000 yen on the Shinkansen bullet train, plus the accommodation. And it's just like, I can go to frigging Thailand or Hong Kong for a 3-day and get under that price. Do you know what I mean? And right now, because of all this, I don't know, weird shit what's going on around the world, Japan wants to clamp down on illegal immigration. They don't want refugees. There's kind of like this right-wing sentiment going on at the moment. They're making it harder for foreigners to live here. Birth rate is low. Everyone's working crazy hours. The new prime minister, the woman, she's a nutcase, man. I'm not really big on her. We have like this kind of like EDL right-wing movement called Senshu that luckily didn't get into power. I think they got a few seats out there. And all of this is caused by the Japanese government. Again, like I said, guys, I don't want to get too much into the politics thing, but yeah, it's just a complete mess right now. Going back into the comments, guys. I like a car. What's up, Jason? Oh, Jason, man. Is it Jason from America, man? I was just talking about if it is Jason. Beard Jason. I watched a video on a $1 billion McLaren. Oh, yeah, nice. Where the windshield wiper fluid bottle broke and messed up the... Oh, shit, really? Well, there is a guy, I don't know if he's German or not, right? And he gets like these supercars and dismantles them and shows you how crap they are. Like, especially Lamborghinis. Like, how you can just, like, pull shit off the car. He's, like, pulling the panel for the interior doors off. He's pulling, like, bumpers off with his hands. And, like, it's kind of weird because, like, with cars, all the parts are made from different companies. Like, I think Fiat make parts for Lamborghini, like the headlamps or the side lights or something like that. It's really bizarre. Chris has put, when I was in Kyoto and watched the news, it seemed like over-touring was all they were talking about. Yeah, I took advantage of the tax breaks. I know people there are suffering. Well, I mean, look, I'm very objective on this. When you have a place like Kyoto, it's bound to be like packed, regardless. Even if the tourists were not here, there'd be like billions of Japanese tourists there anyway. Now, you know, you can't have things both ways. Like, do you want money? Do you want profit? Oh, Jason, oh, you're from Sydney, man. Good day, mate. Oh, prayers going out to the Bondi shooting, man. That's some fucked up shit. Yeah, you can't have it both ways. And it feels like the people in Kyoto don't want money. I mean, to be quite honest, from what I was told, that some businesses out in Kyoto have actually asked Google Maps to take them off the map thing because they don't want foreigners there because they don't speak English or I don't know, whatever reason. So, like I said, I just find Japanese people kind of odd sometimes because it's like, or the government, because you want all this infrastructure, you want all this money, economy to be boosted, yet Japanese wages never go up. Our taxes have gone up, cost of living's gone up, but our wages don't go up, and they have really crappy contracts out here as well. But and I just don't think Japan's ready to deal with like mass tourism. Unfortunately, I mean, we have all the infrastructure there, trains and plane, everything's great. I mean, again, I'll moan like crap about this, and I'm in two minds about like. I think if you come to Japan on holiday, yeah, you should learn some basic Japanese, some basic numeracy, some basic Japanese etiquette. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think with Japanese, they don't. I mean, sorry, yeah, the Japanese don't really get how Western minds think. And come on, man, we've had English teachers here for X amount of years. We've had exposure to the West. I know Japan's a very unique country, but it's something that they're gonna have to deal with for the future, whether they like it or not. You know, there are more tourists coming here. That's just in like I've just checked the stats. It's crazy. It's like treble, quadruple the amount. You know, Chris has put, yeah, that's why I visited when I did right before the lockdown and the restrictions put into place at the beginning of the year. Cool. Jason's from Western Sydney. Nice to meet you, man. I got to get going. Everyone has a good day. Oh, William, thanks for tuning in, man. If I don't see you again, have a great Christmas and a happy New Year. I am trying to rebuild this channel back up with doing more model kit reviews, model kit builds, drawing, and whatnot, all the artsy fartsy stuff. Oh man, Rebels the Cloud9, man. What's up, broski? The old crew are coming back finally, man. What's up, bro? Jared, man, in the building. Long time no see, man. It's been a real shit year, Jared. To be quite honest, I can't talk about it on here too much. But yeah, it's been the worst. I would say this has been the worst year of my life. Like that's how bad it's been, man. The worst. I can't get into details, but I'm not working at the moment because I'm on sick leave due to mental stress and whatnot. And yeah, that's all I can say about that at the moment. But I've just got back into a lot of stuff, Jared. I was actually thinking about you when I started this feed. I haven't done any modeling for a long time, but Jared, I've got back into painting Warhammer. So my friend from Australia got me back into it, bro. So I've been painting these are an old set of Warhammer stuff. It's the Dark Angel Knights. So I've been getting back into this, which I've thoroughly enjoyed. Not the best paint job, but I wouldn't say it was the worst either. But I've got back into like figure painting and whatnot. I haven't really touched the model for a long time. I think the last thing I was working on, mate, was the NZ Industrial Panzer robot, which I made a good start on, which I'll return back to. I've got a few kits that need some washing and weathering, and other stuff, man. But yeah, bro, I'm really glad to see you on here. A lot of people have been asking me, like, what's happening with the TMD channel and stuff like that. It's because I've been working on my other channel, the Kebab Father, where I do food reviews. But now winter's coming up. Well, coming up, it's already here. I'm going to be locked in to give you guys some kind of like real shit fucking news. Is basically I've been suffering from alcoholism. I've been suffering quite a lot, and that's due to certain things at work, life, and everything. I've just been in a real bad depressed mode for quite some time. and I'm 5 days alcohol free. I'm hoping, that whether that I stop alcohol altogether, that would be a great thing. I mean, 5 days for me right now is kind of like a massive accomplishment because, I was drinking every day, every day for years, man, every day. And I think it's just taken its toll on me, both physically and mentally. And I think doing my art and getting back into the model kit stuff is going to be like medicine for me to, you know, um, kind of fix my mind. And like basically as well, for anybody that's suffering from mental health or abuse or whatever, I'm always here if you want to chat and stuff like that, because a lot of people have helped me. I have a lot of good friends, really good friends that have supported me through all this hard time. It's not easy living in Japan sometimes because alcohol is probably one of the biggest factors of thank you, Jared, is one of the biggest problems right now in Japan. A lot of people are addicted to alcohol. And yeah, it's a really big problem. I didn't really think that I would get to this stage in my life where I would say, oh, I have a drinking problem, right? But I blame that on certain things that happened in my life, right? And obviously Christmas is coming up. It's going to be a tough time because it's Christmas. And in previous Christmases, I would start drinking literally at 9, 10 a.m. in the morning while preparing Christmas dinner and being a total twat, git, ass wipe for the rest of the day. Due to certain things that's happened in my life as well. Oh, Takashi-san, ohayo gozaimasu. A lot of things have happened in my life. It's just been the worst year of my life, guys. Without me drowning on about this too long, but yeah, it's yeah. I just haven't had this year. I've got my 2-year-old, my 7-year-old, and 9-year-old kids, and I haven't spent much time with them this year due to work. And I feel really bad as a father because I just haven't devoted any of my time to my kids, which obviously now that I've left my job, I can do. And it's been a great few days since I left my job due to mental sickness. And I've spent some quality time with my kids. And hopefully over the Christmas period, I'm going to buy my kids some Bandai kits. My kids are really getting into the Pokemon Bandai series. They've got some Bandai kits. I think my daughter, she snap fitted that. And yeah, just the backlog. Oh yeah, the Bandai kits, Star Wars kits are here. Need to fix this. We had an earthquake and this dropped and it's snapped and broke. Not good. I'll have to fix that. Yeah, these little Bandai kits, these Pokemon. Kids are getting into Pokemon now. It's going to cost me a bloody fortune. Let me get back into the comments. Sorry, Jared. 2 seconds. Hey, how do you have your art anywhere online? I want to show my sister some of your stuff. I'm on Instagram at DJB_Illusto, ILLUSTO. The problem with my artwork, Jared, is that it's really hard to like take pictures of because it's quite a big scale paper. But I finished, was it this year? I worked on one piece that took me 3 years to complete on and off. I did have a lot of breaks, but I managed to get that done. And then I started another one that I speeded up the process that took a little bit longer. But I was glad to hear from you, man. I think, yeah, it was this piece. Yeah, I finished. This is the one that took me like 3 or 4 years. Took me a long bloody time, man. Long bloody time. You see, I can't really show you it in all its full scale and glory, but because it's super detailed, as per usual. It's an underwater scene there. It's pretty mad, this little troll boy there. And I think I started this one when I was at Sony. And this didn't take, I think this took 2 years. This one. It's pretty mad. All pen and ink with a bit of pencil and whatnot. And then, yeah, I'm starting the new piece. Right, let's get back to your comments. And Chris has put, haven't seen you stream in 2 years or so. I think you were having a house built. Oh, yeah, you remember. Used to get a Stormtrooper kit. Oh, so you do know me, Chris. Yeah, man, the good old days. Actually, again, if you guys know about Bandai and how they do stuff, it's a really bizarre company to deal with sometimes because, sadly, is that when you go to a model shop now, you'd be lucky to find any Star Wars stuff. You'd be lucky. And even now, the prices are jacked up. You know, it was great that Bandai did that whole release thing, and it lasted like 5 years. I stopped buying kits just before they were doing the Mandalorian stuff. I think there was a Boba Fett, a Mandor, they did some ships as well. And people ask me, oh, damn, you're still selling? I was like, no. But yeah, you go into modeling shop now, you're lucky to find any of that Star Wars stuff, man. And I kind of regret not keeping one of each figure. Like, I really want to rebuild the Scout Trooper. God damn, man. Again, I wish Bandai would have made a 1/6 Scout Trooper. Bandai, are you listening? Going back in the comments quickly. Congrats on 5 days is great. I'm really happy. Thanks, Jared. Oh, awesome, Chris. Yeah, you put. My dad used to drink when I was a kid. I'm proud. Yeah, man. It's not good, and it's not. Oh, arigato, Toshiya-san. Arigato gozaimasu. Yeah, man. Of course, Jared. Yeah, send me an email, mate. I'm still on the same email. Yeah, what I can do is, if you email me, Rebels, I could send you some pictures of my stuff. That's incredibly intricate. Thank you, Chris. I think that Disney upped the license fee and Bandai is slowly backing out. Yeah, most probably. But the thing is with Bandai is though, right, is that it's not like it's a company that's got no money. It's got a lot of injection, right? But it's just one of those companies where they just don't listen to any of their fan base. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's a weird company. And I've been totally out of the loop with the whole modeling stuff. I don't know what's out. I haven't bought Hobby Japan magazine for some time. I do know that Kotobukiya are still kicking out those frame arm gold stuff and Wisma device stuff. It's just bonkers. But yeah, if I get back to it this year, over the winter, I'm definitely going to try and finish off that resin kit by NZ Industrial. I've also noticed as well a lot of kits now have been plastic mold injected. A lot of the resin kits that were sold at Wonderfest and whatnot are like slowly creeping into the whole styrene scene, which is great. I mean, I think those kits should be in styrene. Mafex, the toy company, is the same. They don't listen to anybody. I think what it boils down to as well, Chris, I think it's back down to money. Like Rebels, Cloud9 has just mentioned about like Disney upping their prices, and I mean Disney are just a cash cow, right? Rebels, what was the last Bandai Star Wars kit you got? And that goes to Chris as well. Did you guys get any of the kind of like newer stuff? Like, for example, if Disney were to do like this new movie or do a massive promo, right? I reckon it could creep back in. But if you speak to any of those if you speak to any Gundam fans, they also have the same issue of like, oh, why isn't this Gundam being released? I still can't really believe that Bandai have not even considered making any more like PG kits. Like they know like the Sazabi Vakar, which is the MG1100 scale, like that should be made into a PG kit, man. That's fucking there's no doubt about that. You know. 2 seconds, guys, my wife's mailing me. I finally got an email today for the new 148 Mandalorian Star. Ah, is that by Bandai? Holy crap. I need to check on their website, man. I still have the SFS figures, but as far as model kits, I'm only here for troopers. I have about 60 of the troopers. Had to start buying. Oh, really? I pre-ordered it and finally got a month after everyone else. Is that from Hobbylink Japan? Rebels. Wow. Yeah, man. I honestly, looking back at what I was doing back then, it's kind of ridiculous, like on the amounts of kits that I sold. And like I said, I know Rebels, you guys don't get this, man, because I was literally probably one of the first foreigners in Japan, in the world, that was kicking out those kits out of Japan. I mean, I still have all my inventory slips of all the kits that I bought from day one, minus kits that I bought off like in store or from the shops. Like you can't even get the PG Millennium Falcon by Bandai Premium, right? I find it shocking why they can't just like repop these things. And I know this is a conversation that always comes about, but like I said, it just boils down onto money and manufacturing cost, right? No, a Canadian company, our Gamer Hobby, they've been so freaking slow with everything this year. Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know. I need to get into contact with my old suppliers. I don't know if they will supply back to me again. I don't know if the manager is still there. It's been such a long time since I ordered any stuff from my suppliers. But like, I did go to a modeling shop a few weeks ago, whatnot, and saw what was out. I know Tamira pumping a lot of like retooled stuff and whatnot, which is great. And RIP to the CEO of Tamir as well. I was pretty sad that he passed away. People always say, "Oh, why don't you go to Shizuoka Model Show?" Da, 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 da. And I'm like, I would love to go there, but because of the cost, it costs money to get there by train. It costs money to stay in a hotel. It's just so expensive now, man, to travel in Japan. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely, it's just a complete mess. Sad to say. I got the PG Falcon. I heard it was going to be the last time they issued the kit since I got it 2 years ago. They haven't stopped. Since I got it 2 years ago. Oh, you can still buy it? Holy shit, man. Are you saying that they're still popping them out? I do know one thing. This is, like I said, guys, it's been year. When was it the last video? Oh, last year, 11 months was my last video on YouTube. And it wasn't model related because I started doing travel stuff, which people are like, oh, why are you doing travel stuff? Some people liked it, man, what I was doing. But definitely for the next year, I'll get back into the modeling stuff and do some more like build videos and review videos. I still have some mad kits up there. Mad kits that are, looking at it now, I mean, if I could sell some of this shit, I'd get a lot of money back. But they raised the price on the Shinkansen. They most certainly did, man. To be quite honest, like me and the wife were planning to visit the south of Japan in Shimane, where my favorite artist, Shigeru Mizuki's, has a place called Yokai Town. And my wife was going through the prices and she was like, oh man, this is going to cost a lot of money to go there. If you go by plane, yes, it's more expensive, but at least you get to the place where you're going to within 2 hours versus Shinkansen where it takes a bit longer. Of course, Shinkansen's a good experience, but once you've been on it a few times, it kind of gets boring. Good thing is you can smoke on there. If you smoke, they do have like these little smoke rooms. You can't do that on a plane. But saying that, it's only like 2 hours without a cigarette. It's not that bad, is it? Yeah, they haven't stopped, and now the stores can't get rid of them. Really, Jared? Holy shit. Really? The sad thing with me is, right, because I don't really use Facebook anymore, is I do know that some of my customers that were like oilers that were buying loads of shit off me, I won't mention names, but I noticed that some people decide to sell off their whole entire collection. And I think now with those Star Wars kits, they do fetch some good value for resale. Like even on online auctions out here in Japan, they're a bit pricey. Like I said, at one point when I first started TMD, I remember one day I bought like frigging like 20 Scout Trooper sets. So the Scout Trooper came with like the what's it called? I don't know what's that freaking thing called? The thing that they fly around on. I remember one and said, why did I buy like these 20 Scout Troopers? I couldn't sell them. I couldn't get rid of them. And then all of a sudden, they just sold out like literally in 2 weeks. And then a year later, you couldn't get them. I'm like, it's so mad, bro. Like now they're like gold dust. You can't find them. But it's just kind of weird that I had all these kits that I couldn't sell, but now I could sell them in a heartbeat. A speeder bike, that's the one, Rebel. Thank you. Yeah, just weird, just unbelievably weird how the market kind of like fluctuates and what sells, what doesn't sell. But I think that was at the period where the kits had just come out. and people like Star Wars fans were kind of unaware of these Bandai model kits. That's where like Star Wars fans that were collecting SHF Hot Toys or whatever, they weren't modelers per se, but they were like, oh yeah, it's a model kit, but they were really impressed by like the build quality and stuff like that of them all, which kind of is a good thing because it spurred people into getting into modeling, right? Or people attempting to like paint them and do whatever. Christmas, but yeah, the Trooper kits used to be like $14 USD. Really? Shipped. Now they're like 40. I think. Really? Nah. I remember the speeder bike. The speeder bike, I think, if I can remember, because obviously I have all these prices in my head. I think the speeder bike on Bandai's RIP used to be like it was 4,500. So let's say 30, 40 bucks back then. Because how you can tell on I'm gonna show you. Does it have one? I can't remember now. You can tell the wait a second, guys. I'll show you a better example. Yeah, so God, this has got some dust on here. Freaking hell. Right. So the way that you can tell what Bandai's pricing is on the actual standard retail price is if you look at the barcode on the back. I don't know. Is this reverse for you guys? The last digits in that sequence is the retail price. So that would be 1,000 yen, which is 10 US. That's how you can tell what the actual standard retail pricing is. And I do recall the Scout Trooper speed bike was, I think, 4,500. So let's say 40 bucks. Yeah, so Stormtroopers, I think, were priced at 2,000 or 2,500. Mainly of those model kits, the figures were priced around about 253. They reissued the Scout Trooper, I think, past spring, and they didn't stay in stock for a very long time. Same with the... Really? Oh, guys, I'm totally out of the loop with this. So from Japan used to be really cheap. But since COVID, yeah. I think before you joined the feed, Jared, was... As I was explaining to Chris and William, I think William's not a model, he's just a random guy that came onto my feed. But yeah, basically the reason why I stopped selling kits was because when COVID hit, this is fucked up. The last customer that I had, I was selling these small what scale are it? 1/35th machining Krieger Gachapon kits. And I was selling them fairly cheap. And when I went to the post office, certain restrictions on certain parcel services had stopped due to the COVID. So for me to send 2 of these little frigging kits, like they're literally this big, would cost, are you ready for this drum roll? 5,000 yen. That's 50 bucks to send something that weighs like 300 grams. He'd already bought the figures off my website, and then I quoted him the cost of shipping, and I mailed him and said, look, man, you know, there's a bit of a problem. He's like, what is it? I said, well, basically, are you ready for this? It's just going to cost you $50 to send 300 grams of weight. It's like, yeah, let's cancel. That was because of COVID. And then I think it was like last year, maybe a bit before, my wife had gone into the post office and I asked her, oh, can you check to see if the shipping has got back to regular service? Like, for example, you had like ePacket, you had SAL registered, you had ePacket. I think there was another one. I used to send mine ePacket. EMS, standard shipping from JP Post. And I think all of it's come back, but I think it's more expensive now. It's definitely, the price has definitely gone up. All that because of Wu flu. Yep, Wu flu. So it really effed a lot of things for me, man. So yeah, it's complete madness. The tariffs I'm paying are insane now from places like Ami and Hobby Search. Yeah. Yeah, you're from Sydney, right? From Australia. Yeah, it's. I think the golden era of like. Sorry, from US, guys. Sorry. I think the golden era of quote cheap models from Japan is undoubtedly over. Unfortunately, before like the craze of Japan, I could walk into model shops. Oh, take care, Rebels. Take care, man. Yeah, email me, bro. Yeah, you too, bro. Keep in contact, mate. You could walk into a model shop and find some amazing stuff, like really cool. And because of that all over tourism thing, and this is based on like video gaming as well. Like when I first moved to Japan, you could get like Neo Geo's NES or any console unit for like peanuts, quite literally peanuts. But nowadays, you'll barely find anything in the shops now that are worth buying. And I hate to say this, well, the tourists are buying everything. Well, actually, that's quite true. That is very true, right? Because of all these retro gaming scene now that's coming out, what's got a lot popular now, is that tourists come over here, buy everything up, and either resell or they're just hoarding shit. Which is nothing wrong with that. They're just taking advantage of the system, right? But with that, things are becoming a lot harder to get hold of now. And in terms of like the gaming scene, yeah, prices are insane now for stuff that was like literally just peanuts. Like when people come to Japan, they can't believe the amount of stuff that's here that's used, right? Used stuff. Oh wow, they found this game, and like obviously some things are super cheap. Don't get me wrong, like some things are a bargain out here, right? But stuff that's kind of like fetching value. The Japanese are not stupid. They see this kind of like niche market, whatever, and they start bumping up prices. It's a bit like all these Pokemon cards, which I'm not really into. I don't really know anything about it. But the whole Pokemon card thing, that's insane as well. Chris has put, stayed in a hostel while there, and the guys were filling up giant suitcases full of things to take back home. Yeah, I mean, when I first came to Japan, man, I had like 2 full suitcases of junk and shit, which have now is sat here when it's worth peanuts. But yeah, yeah, I totally get that, man. You stayed in a hostel, man. I have a bit of a horror story actually about when I stayed in a hostel when I came traveling alone to Japan for the second time. Yeah, I won't get into that, but yeah, you'll see Chinese tourists as well buying stuff up as well, not just model kits, but they're into like electronics, fashion, stuff that Japanese people can't afford. Japanese people now are really poor, unfortunately. But yeah, like I said, a lot of stuff. The heyday of Japan is gone. I really miss it. I mean, I've been here 16 years, right? So yeah, it's just walking into these shops now. It's not as fun anymore, man. All the cool shit's gone. But Japan has a really good, like, how do I say it? Like revolving used sale ethic. I remember if you've been to Mandareke in Akihabara, on a Sunday morning, I think, or Saturday morning, you'll see a massive line of Japanese people with their collections for sale. Like they're selling their stuff off. And that's what happens a lot in Japan. A lot of people. The problem in Japan is I know like modeling itself or collecting is a disease. Like when I first moved to Japan, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy some cool stuff, collect this, collect that, and yeah, as cool as that is, in Japan there's too much stuff to collect, and you end up spending millions of yen on shit. That yeah, some of it is worth money, no doubt, but a lot of it isn't, man. And Japan, like my sister-in-law as well, she's one of those people. Like she collects all kinds of stuff, manga, toys, figures, and her room's just obliterated and just junk, like here. Like with the Mac stuff, the Mac stuff has a good resale value. This is one of the only genres of model kits I think that you can either make profit or money. You got your money back on it to a certain degree, depending on what it is. But yeah, it's the market is, yeah. But I mean, in some respect, for stuff that you've kept hold of, Chris, you potentially have the opportunity of, like, if you decide to let go of stuff in the future, you can make a little bit of profit. I think with Gundam stuff, because it's so like flooded the market, a lot of the Americans that I see like are selling Gundams or whatnot, they kind of sell it off for very cheap. Depends on the exclusivity of the kit. But generally speaking, like even in Japan as well, like you go to these resale spots and you'll barely get anything for the stuff that you sell. Like they offer peanuts, man. Yeah, I got into the N-scale train model. Bro, are you into trains? Are you into trains, bro? Because there's a shop, to give you a backstory. When I first moved here, I didn't really know this area very well. And one day I'm riding on my bike and I just went past this modeling shop that was not, this is near my old apartment, which is not very far away. It's like a 15-minute walk. I was like, holy shit, this is like the mom and pop shop stuff. Anyway, this particular shop had all your basic supplies, paints, figures, kits, but their main focus was actually trains and train diorama equipment and whatnot, right? And anyway, a Japanese friend of mine took me to their flagship store, which is in the next town, like 10 minutes away. And after doing some further research, I found out that this train shop in my local town is insanely famous. Yeah, Kato, mate. The amount of Kato stuff that I've got a lot of Kato diorama stuff upstairs, mate. You'd have a heart attack. Oh, right. I think there's also a German company that produces a lot of train diorama stuff as well, equipment wise. Anyway, like there's a lot of diorama stuff that I've never used, and it's probably fucked. Like all that Tamiya stuff needs throwing out. Just a total waste of money. Anyway, it is what it is. But I found out that this model shop is like super renowned, and a lot of people from all over Japan actually buy their train stuff from this place. And in the flagship store, they have like a massive train diorama set up with all the trains and all the tracks and shit like that. Because obviously, you know, in Japan, trains are like super popular with people, right? But yeah, like those train people that are into train stuff, train hobbyists. I never really understood it, man. But then I was looking at the prices of some of those train kits, and it's like, holy shit. Like, if you're into train kits, you're a proper diehard, man. Like, you've got cash to spend. And like, even building the whole diorama for your train setup, like, you need like a loft or a basement or a garage, right, to set that stuff up. If you're going like massive scale, you know, if you're going like 10 foot by 10 foot or whatever. I love action figure photography. That's why I got into scale models. Ah, really? Oh, awesome, man. What's your camera setup like? Yeah, Tomix, man. Yeah, those train kits are insane, bro. Not kits, but sets, right? I think I did make a quick video on my YouTube, man. If you want me to make a YouTube video at the shop, I can do. I'll show you around. But I was just shocked at the fact that this shop that I go to, oh yeah, this is one of the complaints that kind of happened. It's a kind of a miracle that these little mum and pop shops are still running, because in that shop, their paints and equipment, like for modeling, are reasonably priced, but some of the kits that they have there, because it's a small independent, are extremely expensive, right? And I get it. Like, support your local hobby shop. I get all that shit. But sometimes it's easier saying that than, you know, are you going to spend an extra $20 on a kit when you can get it somewhere cheaper, like Amazon or wherever? I don't know what your feeling is on that. But to be quite honest, I much prefer going to these smaller shops because of the smell, the atmosphere, the owners, you know, like it's got a real like nostalgic vibe to it. You know that the guy that owns the shop is a modeler, not some spotty little kid that works in a big department store that knows nothing about modeling, and all they're there is like ping pong. So yeah, like these older shops, man, are obviously in Japan are slowly dying out, which is really sad. And I get they have massive overheads and shit like that, you know, but it's just real sad to see like some of these old Japanese shops that have been there decades, have supplied a lot of people in the hobby, right? Yeah, just oh, you're a Nikon guy. Me too, man. I have a Nikon D5600. Yeah. Are you into macro photography at all? This is a real good chat, man. I'm glad that you came on, Chris. Anyway, man. Been a really good. This is what I miss, man. Is talking to you guys out on the World Wide Web. People that are like-minded people, and people that share hobbies and interests. My other channel doesn't have that because it's just food related. But yeah, once I'm back on here, it's like meeting you guys again after a long time. It's like I can't believe, Chris, you were like, oh yeah, I bought a model kit off you and you were moving house. I can't believe you remember all that, man. That's pretty insane. I haven't got a lens for a macro yet. Actually, I was looking at the prices a few weeks ago. Yeah, man. Basically, this is what's kind of annoyed me as well with the whole camera scene, is that my Nikon runs off mainly like DX lenses, because Nikon's cheaper lens range, let's put it that way. The DX range is a lot cheaper than the FX. The FX is more the pro line. And I think the DX lenses are affordable. And I have a DX, I do have a DX micro lens, which is it 40 mil? Can't remember. But I've taken some really nice macro stuff with that lens. I bought it brand new. And I do know Nikon shifted their plant to Thailand, I believe. Like their parts division now, it's all out in Thailand. I don't know if they make bodies here in Japan still. But then obviously after I bought my camera, all the mirrorless stuff came out. And you have like the Nikon Z series and whatnot, which I'm very tempted in getting, but obviously there are different price ranges on those Z series mirrorless cameras, right? Oh, yours is DX. Nice. Because I think it's recommended that for certain Nikon models that you use DX. Like, there's no point buying an FX lens for a DX camera. But don't hold me on this, Chris. I don't know if there's like some compatibility issues. I can't remember. I personally don't have any FX lenses, but I think they'll work, but I don't think it's recommended to do it. Because like once you get like Nikon D800s and stuff like that, 750s, like the higher end, yeah, go out and. But I think on those cameras you can use the DXs on those. I don't think it's the other way around. I might be wrong, but yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, going back to my point. Yeah. Yeah. I still cannot believe that the DSLR cameras are still extremely expensive to buy brand new. I think it's in the Nikon D80. Those go for about $3,000 or $4,000. When you quite literally can get like a frigging mirrorless camera, an Alpha series for that. And because I work for Sony, I did play around with the Alpha Mark II. The Sony cameras are a bit of a weird one. I do like them, but for macro work, nah. They're just too heavy in the field usage, right? But in terms of doing like portrait, street photography, or landscape stuff, those cameras are absolutely fucking amazing. because I was playing around with the Geo lens, which is one of the most expensive macro lenses you can buy for cameras, man. And I thought it was a load of shit. I just didn't like it. It's really weird to lock in onto the aperture and shit, man. And like to do macro work, you need a lightweight camera. Like there's a brand called Leiwa. They do high-end macro lenses, but their actual casings is in plastic. People are plastic shit. But if you're using macro stuff on in the field, you need something quite lightweight. Because some people like me, they have like diffuser setups with flash. Like my setup's pretty old school, right? But it works. But it's just real awkward to carry around in the field. It's too big and heavy. Yeah, I can't spend that much. Got mine for a song off eBay years back. It's a starter. Yeah. I mean, people think that, you need these expensive cameras to get good shots. You don't. It's the people in the camera hobbyists, the elitists, let's say, that let's put it this way. I knew a person that she bought all of the Sony Alpha lenses, like all of them. And then she showed me her stuff on Instagram. I was like, yeah, it's all right. So with camera stuff, mate, it's the person behind the camera that makes the shot and like how you set stuff up. Not necessarily how good the camera is or what lenses you use. You could have a shitty camera like me, and I've taken some amazing shots, and people are like, are you a pro? I'm like, no. Oh, wow, that's fucking great. I'm like, oh, thanks. I don't really... yeah, the triangle, yeah. That's when you get into P mode, manual mode, right? Me too. I struggle sometimes. But because I'm mainly into like macro photography, it's quite easy to set up the rig. Because for macro photography, it's all about your lighting and your shutter speed. And that will determine like what you want. But like to get really good macro shots, it's just setting up the aperture and shutter, right? But it's easy. It's easy, man. Once you start learning it, man. But the more that you practice, like you literally just take pictures every single day, bro, of anything. Objects, landscapes, animals, wildlife, flowers, people, and then you'll learn how to use a camera better that way than like reading a book on like, oh, this is the settings and da 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 da. It's just better to get hands on. And if you're shooting in RAW as well, you'll have all your RAW data as well. So if you're in post-production, like on Adobe Lightroom or whatever software you're using, you can see why you fucked up, because it'll give you all the information, like all your settings and whatnot. But like with my D5600 setup, it's not very good on like continuous shutter speed, and that's because of like the lens, and also as well you got to factor in the fact of like how good is your SD card as well. If you buy a shit quality SD card, like when you're doing continuous shots, like it takes time for that image to load up on my camera anyway, but it'll be laggy. But yeah, Photography is a great thing, man. I love it. I'm going to get back into it this winter time. Do some street stuff again. But I'm not quite sure what kind of stuff that you're shooting. Like, I don't know. If you'd let me know in the chat, I could maybe give you some pointers. But yeah. Another thing as well. I just got a micro. Okay. Oh, express cut. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's good. The express cards are a lot better. And then you got the whole things of like what lenses, like bokeh lenses and stuff like that. The most amount of money you're going to spend on a camera, which I'll get into this, is your lens. Once you buy some good glass and you look after it, it'll last you a lifetime, man. And it's the lenses that fucking make the shot. It's not the camera body per se. It's all about what lenses you've got. And, you know, you'll have all these elites like Fuji, Olympus, Canon. Every camera has got its good and bad points, man. And that goes with lenses as well. You know, like some people are loyal to one brand, some people have different cameras. And you also got freaking Leicas, which my dad used to go mad about. My dad was into photography. Yeah, those Leica cameras are pretty wild, man. Fucking expensive. Like some of those Leicas are like fucking 1 million yen. Fucking insane money. Anyway, for me, when you get into photography, like let's say, for example, you start off doing landscapes, so you need like a wide angle lens, right? You'll soon find that you want to take some pictures of some flowers. Oh, well, I need a macro lens, for example. And then you start buying lenses for that, and then you're like, oh, I do like the look of these fisheye lenses. Let's get a fisheye lens. And it starts upping the game in terms of your inventory and cost. So for me, I'm interested in macro per se. And the equipment that I needed for that would be, which I've got, which is an old SB700 flashlight, which is old school. It's got like, you need 4 batteries in it. It weighs like a fucking bowling ball. And to do macro shit, you need a stand. It's quite hard to use in the field because it's like very top heavy. And then to do macro, any adjustment or any movement in wind, your freaking even your shutter can create like motion blur. I made my own diffuser out of some cardboard, and I got some foil that in Japan there's like these these foil things for like when you're cooking to stop fat and grease getting everywhere. I used that, and I made this. Well, you can make diffusers out of Pringle packets, Pringle tubes. That they work. So I DIY'd mine instead of buying something offline. I got that. What else? I bought. My dad gave me a Sigma 300mm macro lens. I bought a DX, which is prime macro lens. And that's what I want to do, just focus on that. And then after a while, I was like, oh, I only do some street photo. Now I need a 200mm. And now I might get another 35mm lens. You start going off into these different tangents of different like photography genres. And that's when it gets dangerous, man. So for me, I just want to focus on macro only because that's where I want to put my money into. And that's what I think my work excels at, if that makes sense. The other stuff like street photography. I think I still have the standard 300mm telescopic lens, and I also have the standard 35mm lens as well, which for a standard box set lens is, I think, pretty good for what it can do. The telly is all right. I got some good shots of the moon. Can get a bit pixelated once you start zooming in, which in theory, that lens is not really meant for close-ups anyway. But for a standard kit lens, it's not that bad. Like, you know, you get it not free with the camera, but you get it with the camera. So I'm waffling on about photography. I could talk about this shit all day long. MacGyver's setup. That's awesome. You want to see lightning bugs shaking their asses. Yeah. So the reason the reason why I think you use flashes with macro is because the more light that you've got and the quicker shutter speed, you're going to get less motion blur. Sorry. That's why you use flashes. And with a flash, you're gonna get, let's say you're taking a picture of, I don't know, a cosmos flower, or so I think of a flower that's really highly kind of detailed. Okay, I'll use cosmos. The cosmos flower has so many colors and shapes and gradients, and when you've got that flash on, it's gonna just go boom. It's gonna expose all of that area of that flower in detail. If you don't have a flash, you're not gonna pick up a lot of the details on there. So that's why your exposure's a bit higher, right? There are some people that are in the field that do photography where they actually purposely set their exposure down. So that once they get in post-production, like in editing software suites, they can easily adjust that exposure rate. Because once you set the exposure and it goes too light, you can't revert it back into like lowering that exposure, if that makes sense. So it's always safer to set a lower exposure than it is to set a higher one, because you can't revert back. You can make things brighter on Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Lightroom. Yeah, just little things like that, man. Anyway, sorry for waffling on, Chris. I'm so sorry. Once I get into something, I can talk about that for bloody hours and hours. But yeah, just enjoy it, man. I mean, even for professionals, right, that do photography, some of their shots turn out like shit. Don't think that all professionals, like when they take pictures, they have like perfect shots. They don't. You know, you've just got to persevere and just don't just, oh, I'm taking a picture of this insect. Take one shot. Because when you get, oh, and that shot's going to be shit, you're better off taking 30 fucking shots, man. Obviously, check it on your LCD panel, but and that's another thing as well. Don't be fooled by when you go back on your playback and you're checking your shot and it's like, oh, it looks great on here. When you get home and you upload it, it'll be like, oh man, this looks terrible. So that's another thing to factor in, is don't just take one shot. Sometimes you can practice taking shots at different aperture ranges. So lower the aperture, the more wider the shot is. Bigger aperture numbers, the smaller it is. It reverses the numbers. So a big number is actually a smaller depth. A bigger number is a smaller depth. It's the opposite. These little things you'll learn by time, man. I know I'm sounding like some photography tutor or that, but there are like you can actually buy online as well, like on Amazon maybe. Cheat cards, they're called cheat cards. What they are, like these small little cards that you can carry out on the field or when you're out, and it'll give you a quick guide on like what aperture setting. So like depending on the weather, if it's cloudy, sunny, what speeds you should be using, what apertures you should be setting, and stuff like that. They're called cheat cards, and some photography. That's a good way of like estimating what your settings should be as a beginner. But yeah, photography is probably one of my most favorite hobbies, especially in the summertime when I'm out in the field. Because most of my work are insects, mainly dragonflies, insects, flowers, a lot of nature stuff. I've also got into like mycology of late, so I do a lot of mushroom photography, which you should definitely check out. Mushroom photography is fucking wild, quite literally. Mushroom photography, man. With mushroom photography, that takes a little bit of skill and perseverance because, like, obviously mushrooms tend to be in abundance during the autumn season, maybe round about March as well. What that means is that you're out in the woods or out in the wilds, and you need to get like, well, it depends what you want to do, like external flash rigs, a rig, obviously your diffuser if you're going to use diffusers, and blah 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 blah. You're going to be in the rain, so you need walk boots, Wellingtons, waterproofs, make sure your camera gear's protected and all that shit. Yeah, it's a bit of a hassle, and setting mushroom photography up, it can be a bit of a pain. But like with mushroom photography artists, they like to use like different colored backgrounds, so they carry like let's say 12 background sheets. So imagine if that's your mushroom. Some of these guys like to put like purple, greens, or whatever background. They'll put that in the background, set up the camera rig, take a shot. And some people like a very smooth, kind of smooth effect where you can, set your shutter low, set your aperture so it's like, it's focused on the mushroom, and then that's in shot or focus, and then the outside is blurred out. There's different ways, man. It's just sounds like a good idea. There's a photographer in New York that I like to go to parks and take shots out in nature. Yeah, I'll have to take my camera with me this summer when I go on a yeah, see, that's another thing. The people that do auto industry photography, right, taking pictures of cars and shit like that, that's another skill set. I mean, people think you just point and shoot a camera, but like those automotive guys, car nerds, for that, obviously you've got moving vehicles, so you're going to make sure that you've got your shutter stuff on point. I mean, some cameras now have like they have the shutter priority mode, which is an auto setting, so it'll detect like the light and shit like that. And without me going too much into detail, because we need to change topic, Chris. You've also got ISO mode, right? ISO. So basically, the lower the ISO, the better quality of the picture will be. The higher you're going to get like distortion. But depending on that, Like if you're in a dark place, you need to set a mediocre to high ISO, but then you need to calibrate that with the settings on your camera. If not, it becomes very grainy. Most cameras have automatic ISO settings on there anyway, but you can manually adjust it to whatever you want. But yeah, generally speaking, the lower the ISO, the better quality shot you're going to get. So hence why if I'm doing macro, my ISO settings are around about 100 to 200. Why? Well, because I've already got my flash installed. So the flash is going to do the work, but keep the image nice and clean. And that's it, man. I promise I'm not going to talk any more camera stuff, man. Apart from one thing. There is a massive trend going on now where people are buying older cameras, like literally like those, you know, like those old school, either throwaway cameras that you just take one shots and you develop them in a cardboard box. And there's also my friend that he bought for like $2 one of those old 35mm like Olympus film cameras that are really old school. And actually, I saw my friend at an art event once, and he said, "Oh, Darren, let's take some selfies." I'm like, what the fuck is that, bro? Yeah, Polaroids. Yeah, because those older cameras give a certain effect, which, i.e., if you go on Instagram or any whatever you're going on, they'll have all these pre-made filters that make that picture look like whatever you want it to look like. And I think with those really old shitty cameras, in certain situations, those cameras can actually give quite a nice effect or feel. Like some of the qualities look like almost blurry, sunburnt, as if that's a good description, which can diffuse like the real cleanliness, the cleanness of the shot, right? And I think in certain situations, those cameras are really good. Like you can buy those cameras for like $2. All it needs is like two AA batteries and some film, right? And that's what I kind of miss is like using actual film, you know. I think as well, like cameras and like what people are doing with cameras now is that, you know, everything's too clean nowadays. I kind of like the rustic stuff, man. You know, I kind of like odd mistakes in the shot versus a very super clean picture, if that makes sense. Now, like you said, old Polaroids are great. Do they still make Polaroids, man? Holy shit. I presume they do. I know there's a company, because my friend has one. It's not by the Polaroid company, but it's another Japanese company, I think. And actually, you can get some of these cameras that you'll take the picture and it'll print it out. So if you're out and about, let's take a selfie with some random person. Takes a picture and it prints it out from the base, which is pretty nice. And it's only small. It's not nothing crazy, but I thought, oh, that's a pretty cool idea. But yeah, I'm sure Polaroid stuff still popular. I know you can still get them. I'm sure you can. I'm not feeling the best at the moment, man. So what do you do in good old Kentucky, man? Are you all ready for Christmas, Chris? Have you got kids, grandchildren, all that stuff? I find drawing so therapeutic. It's helping a lot with my mental stress, man. It's helping a lot. I'm ready for being off. Ah, nice, man. Yeah, the Christmas break's coming soon, man. You deserve it, man. Yeah, I still wish to go to the US, mate. One of my dreams is to travel around America. Eat some jerky, burger spots, do some photography, meet some old friends, meet you if you want. My dad went to America back in the early 90s. He did Alabama, Louisiana, Florida. My dad was heavily into the blues and stuff like that. And he did it. I think he did a few trips actually to Florida. No kids for me. I'm in my mid-40s and work at metal recycling plant on Ohio River. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, man. Like I said, I don't hold anything against people that don't have kids. I know something like, oh, you don't have kids in your 40s. I kind of envy you people. Like, you people, you're not some weird alien race, but I'm just saying, like, when I was in Japan, when I was in my 30s, I honestly said to myself, I don't want kids. I don't want kids. I've always been a man on a mission, so to speak, and I honestly enjoy my own time, my own free will kind of thing, right? And I still do to this day. My wife, I'm very fortunate that my wife, my Japanese wife, she gives me a lot of freedom. Like she's not, where are you going? What are you doing? Like, she doesn't complain like that. She gives me a lot of like free time, and I can do whatever I want. She's cool like that, you know. I know some of my friends who are married to Japanese women don't have that kind of luxury. So I'm quite lucky in that respect. But I've been a lonely child. I don't have any brothers or sisters, anything like that. But since a child, I grew up very shy, alone, and just enjoyed doing things that make me happy, i.e., drawing and doing arts and crafts and etc. etc. And my mate Scott, who sadly died this year, big shout out to you, Scott, if you're watching, man. Miss you, bro. He didn't have kids, and I was asking him why don't you want kids, and he just said because like his sister was in a bit of a messy relationship with a guy, and I think that might have put him off having kids. But my mate Scott was a legend. He was a prop maker, and he actually was a prop maker on Star Wars, believe it or not, and Tom Hanks's World War II bomber series, and he worked on many other movies, Paddington Bear, Star Wars. I think he did Rogue One, and I think he did 2 or 3 Star Wars movies. And sadly, he passed away. One of the saddest moments of my life this year, man. Just unbelievable. His best friend rang me and gave me the bad news. And Scott was a true legend, and he was like a lone spirit and he said, "Yeah, I do want to get married, but he doesn't want to have kids." I never really understood it, but I totally get it, man. I totally get it. I'm all about people having freedom and having free choices and what they want to do in their own life, right? I think in modern day standards, it's like, oh, you don't have kids? What's wrong with you? No, man, people are free to choose how they want to live their lives. It's just like the social norm, isn't it? You know, get a job, buy a house, have kids, be happy. Well, yeah, of course, I'm happy having free kids and whatnot, but there are some days where I just don't want kids. Yeah, I enjoy my freedom. When I find a woman that works with me, then I might give it a go. Wow, then I probably have seen this work 100 times already. Yeah. Scott, I can't, well, he's passed away now. Scott, I'm sorry for telling you this story. Let me go for a cigarette because it's going to be a long story. So I met my friend Scott. He's from London. He was, God rest his soul, on the internet, Facebook of all places, and he met me through selling model kits. Anyway, he came to Japan and reached out to me. Says, "Oh, Darren, what are you doing? Let's meet up for a beer." We met him, and I took him around. I showed him around Tokyo. Took him to some crazy spots, and then we just hit it off from there. And he actually gave me one of his rubber band like bracelets that only Star Wars prop crew or staff working on the movies got. And yeah, he worked on loads of stuff, man. And anyway, he's a cheeky guy. I mean, he's passed away now. It's not like LucasArts or Disney are going to come after him. But he worked on Batman as well. Like, he used to take, how do I say? He used to borrow things from the workshop that he shouldn't have, i.e. certain helmets, stormtrooper ones. Anyway, he was telling me about it, and like when they're doing Star Wars movies, it's all divided. Like the prop team are separated from another team, and that team, they're all separated. I don't know why that is. I think it's because of security and kind of like they don't want any leaks kind of thing. Yeah. But he made the armaments, stormtrooper armor and stuff like that. And he shouldn't have done this, man. He showed me pictures of the prop department, like they were making CP3O and shit like that. It's fucking insane. He made that bomb as well in Rogue One. Do you know the girl has that? Is it the hand grenade? He made that. And he's got another guy, which I can't mention, but he worked on the movies as well. But he was telling me, like, when they start the movie, they actually have, like, this massive meeting where they've signed NDAs and shit like that, and they can't disclose anything. If they do, they are done, man. They're done. But yeah, it's crazy. But to be honest, though, he said that he didn't really enjoy it because some of the upper management or something, he didn't get along with a few people. And he said it was shit. He didn't enjoy it. Yeah. Well, actually, when he passed away, some of the people from the movie industry were at his funeral. And I think, I don't know what his mate did, but I think some of it might have been auctioned off. Because he had like the Batman mask. I think he had some Star Wars related, so I can't really talk about it on here, bro. But yeah, it's pretty mad. Like, if he got caught with that, he'd get fucked. He didn't get caught because he's too clever, but yeah, it's pretty mad. But the last major thing that he did, he was on set building stuff for the Tom Hanks, is it Flying Fortress series? Not Band of Brothers, it was after that. And he was building like the, they built the B-52 bomber. And there's a picture of my mate Scott, like he's building the props for like the bombs and shit like that. It's pretty fucking wild, man. But he was showing me pictures of like the set and stuff, man. It's pretty insane. Like what you see on fucking movies or TV, mate, and then you see it in the prop, it's totally different. Because obviously they've added like CGI background and shit like that. But the prop itself, the plane is actually fully built out. Is that what it's called? Masters of the Air? Probably. I haven't seen it. I should do. Because his name will be in the credits, no doubt. There's actually, when they did Star Wars Rogue One or episode 3, I can't remember. There's a picture of my mate Scott with Mark Hamilton. Yeah, him and Luke. It's pretty wild. I hate calling like Luke Skywalker Mark Hamilton. I just call him Luke. Makes life a lot easier. And basically, like with the whole film industry, a lot of the work is actually sent to the UK because the British prop builders, they don't have like strikes and shit like that. Like in America, and you guys have like in the film industry, there's a lot of like unions and shit like that. So because of like the UK doesn't have that, they basically send all the work to the UK, believe it or not, because there's less issues with like stuff getting done. Chris, I'm just going to go for a quick loo break, but give me 2 seconds, man. I'll be back. Oh, okay, I'm back. Pretty cool. He was good in those movies. Yeah, Star Wars is a very tricky one, right? I mean, you're in your 40s, so you're like the same age as me. To give you my kind of like Star Wars kind of like background is that when I was 7, I think the first Star Wars movie that I watched was when I was a kid. Obviously, I wasn't around back in the 70s, obviously, but I remember when I was a kid, I used to play with our family friends, and his name was Rick Lear. If you're watching Rick, he had like not every single Star Wars figure, but like he collected them, and he had like a lot of like the machinery as well. And my cousin had like the AT-AT machine, so I was kind of getting like, what is this, man? You know, what is this? And then like in England, during the Christmas period, Star Wars was always played at Christmas time. Then I got to realize what Star Wars was, like what it was, right? And where I used to live, they used to have like this shop that was selling like not a dollar store, but like almost a dollar store. And I remember as a child, they had like this massive like wooden crate, and in that wooden crate were Star Wars figures. Wasn't all of them, but they had like a large selection. So back then, I think a Star Wars figure was about 50 pence, right? And I remember getting quite a lot of stuff from there as a child. I mean, 50p is like super cheap. This is going back to mid-80s, right? All right. And my mate Rick had all the, like everybody used to go to his house to play like Star Wars roleplay. Anyway, I got into Star Wars, and as a child, yeah, of course I love Star Wars, man. Who doesn't like Star Wars as a kid? And as I got older, I wasn't like a huge fan of it, but like I was getting into it, kind of thing. Like now, I'm not a hardcore Star Wars fan by any means of the imagination, but hi mate. What's done up? Have you got swimming today, innit? Yeah. What's it? What's up? We're live on YouTube, man. You got homework? Do your homework first, please. If you get your homework finished, that means you can play a game tonight, innit? Right. Oh, kill night. Okay, Jar, relax you. Yeah, I'm getting off track here. Yeah, Star Wars. Yeah, so I never really appreciated it for what it was till I got older and started watching them again, and then realized like, oh wow, you know, Star Wars is just one of the best stories, one of the best things ever made. What's that now? Television. Yeah, but put the volume low, mate. Yeah, how's your remote water? That's you on it. Right. Don't put it too loud. And yeah, I never really appreciated it for what it was. And then they did the Phantom Menace, all the prequels, and I was like, oh, this is pretty crap. And it's only till I really started selling Star Wars kits that I really got back into it again. And I started watching all the prequels again. I know Jar Jar Binks is a complete nutcase, right? But I kind of got into watching the prequels, which I thought I would never be getting into, man. And then I met Scott, and then I've worked in the media industry, you know, and I've seen how much time and dedication people put into movies or video games, right? And it's quite easy for people outside the industry, i.e. the viewer, to like make comments on and say, oh, this film was shit, and they murdered this film. And like, this is my outlook on it. And regardless of if something is quote unquote not very good, I have a respect for people that have actually made the efforts into doing that kind of thing, because I don't think people really understand what work is involved in movies or games. So it's not the prop builder's fault. It's not it's not anybody's fault. It's the script writing, right? Or maybe it just doesn't work. Do you know what I'm saying? And as much as people may slag off Star Wars, which I do from time to time, respect to the people that have put effort into making that kind of stuff, because it's you can't just say a film's shit. You got to realize that there are people out there that have put a lot of stuff on the line, their family life, their time, their effort, blood, sweat, and tears to produce something that, at the end of the day, the people that have worked on those things, Star Wars, whatnot, have worked really hard at. And I think it's wrong for people to say, oh, well, Disney is a whole different thing, right? I'm not Chinese Disney, but but the people that have worked on movies in general deserve like props, man, because there's just the work involved in it, man. Set designers, costume designers, CG guys, all those people put a lot of time and effort into that thing. Yeah, okay, you might not like it, but I get that. I respect that. But yeah, I just unless you've worked in that environment, you start to respect certain things, like you start to look at how the industry works from a different, like, even now with games that are shit, people, that's shit, that game is shit. Man, do you know how much time is involved in making these things? It's absolutely insane, man. I was QA for quite a while, and even QA work is pretty brutal, to say it. It's our job is to make the gamer have a really good gaming experience, right? But sometimes things happen without us knowing. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I mean, like, if people were to see what actually goes on behind the scenes, I think people would have a different opinion about how they comment on stuff being either shit or bad. Chris, you put, I grew up on Star Trek. Yes, the Next Generation, really? I grew up on the old school series that was aired in the UK. So Will Shatner, Leonard McCoy, all those guys. My dad was a big Trekkie fan. I went through a phase of just watching all the old series. I love the old series, man. It just has this weird, eerie, dark feel to the old series, the original series, man. Next Generation, I was like, but then I got into that. I got into that as a teenager. As a child, it was Star Trek, the original series. Not really a big fan of Deep Space Nine. Not that it's shit, I just didn't really like the story. What else? Yeah. And the Star Trek movies with the original cast members, I friggin' love. Was it Wrath of Khan? Is probably one of the most amazing movies that I've ever seen. Love Wrath of Khan. I just think those movies, sci-fi movies from the 80s, are just timeless, man. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well, we all grew up on that. My son is an addict of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I even have the PlayStation beat 'em up game. It's kind of weird, like, seeing my kids get into stuff that I was into back in the day, right? It's kind of weird. And I kind of find it weird that Turtles is still kind of alive. I think there's a new game coming out of the Turtles, man. On PS5. whatnot. I watched the animated version of the Turtles, actually, the new version, which I kind of like. Was like, oh, this style looks weird, but actually, I digged it, man. It was pretty good. Star Wars came later. Oh yeah, same. Yeah, same for me, man. I'll probably say the same. The 80s, man, was the mid 80s to early 90s, man, was just a fucking awesome time, man. Like the cartoons, even Japanese anime at that time was like pretty insane. I'm also a big garbage pail card collector. I'm not collector, fan. I don't have all the cards. I got back into it like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Some kind friends from America sent me some new series. But yeah, stuff from the 80s, man, it's amazing. It really is amazing. And if I could go back in time and relive my life, it would be definitely through the mid 80s. The fashion, the just everything. Music, man, you just can't beat that, man. Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country. I saw in the theater. Oh, nice, man. Yeah, I actually saw quite a lot of the Star Wars. Stop saying Star Wars. Star Trek movies. What's the movie, the Star Trek movie, where they find those whales and those whales are like transmitting these weird signals to aliens or some shit? I watched that one. They're in San Francisco, I think. Isn't it the Bay of SF? Yeah. Anyway, Roger Rabbit. I was a big fan of the old original Batman series with Adam West. TV shows like Home Improvement, Al Bundy. Oh man, The Equalizer. Jesus Christ. I could reel off loads of shit. Magnum, PI, A-Team, Airwolf. Movies such as like The Abyss, Aliens, Alien. Oh man. Honestly, bro, the things nowadays just don't comprehend. They really don't. To the 80s. You know, life was simpler then. Like I said, we've got all of this modern technology. Obviously, me and you would not be chatting right now if it wasn't for the internet, right? But saying that, I think my own personal opinion, I enjoyed life during the early 90s. Pre-mobile phones, yeah. You know, I was also into the whole dance scene in the UK, the old techno rave scene, which is great in the 90s. Again, we had no mobile phones at that time. Things were just a lot fucking simple, man. Fashion was a lot better, I think, in the 80s and 90s. I got into hip hop, you know. Just everything was so cool and innovative. Like even getting a CD Discman or MP3 mini disc, ghetto blasters, BMXs, bro. Jesus, Action Force, Thundercats. Fuck, man. The list goes on. The list goes on. Like, you know, oh, that's it. Star Trek 4 Voyager Home, I think, had the whales. There you go. Thanks, Chris. Wasn't the one Spock returns when Spock gets sent off to the island and he's like a little kid? Hi, what's up, Zen? Yeah, I mean, I know this sounds bizarre as well, but I kind of do like the basic set designs of the older Star Trek series. Chris, I watched this TV show once, a documentary about Star Trek, and it was about all the props they used, and it was talking about like cables fucked. It was talking about like somewhere in the US where they made, I think it was more Generations. There's this huge frigging warehouse that has all the costumes that they used on set, and they had like 3D models and shit as well. It was nuts, man. Like they used a lot of like costume designs, which is understandable because if you're trying to create like a mass race of like different non-human races, they need like quite a lot of props. Yeah, it was insane, man. Insane. I don't know if you Americans got into Thunderbirds. Captain Scarlet. That's wild. Yeah, man. I was in a library in Chicago that had details about how old the old show was made. It was pretty interesting. Yeah, I imagine it can be, man. Imagine it is. Like, most of those actors are dead now, though, no? Will Shatner, Leonard McCoy's dead. He did Megatron's voice in the Transformer movie, if I remember. Chekhov, I think he's still alive. Sulu, I think he's still alive. Uhara's dead. Oh, really? Oh, bro, man. Yeah, the Thunderbirds original series is pretty wild, man. Yeah, because I was watching another show about like how they were redoing it with puppets and stuff like that. Again, animatronics, puppeteers and stuff, all that shit's gone, bro. Like Labyrinth, man. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just, me and you are getting old, bro. I think they need to stop making CGI films. I know people get fucking excited about, oh wow, the CGI is amazing. Like it's beautiful. Like fuck that. I like the old shit, man. Like, can you like if they again, I'm a big Aliens fan. Big Aliens fan. All right, goes if I can remember all of them in order. Alien, amazing movie. Might watch it today. Fuck it. Aliens, probably one of my top 5, 10 movies of all time. Aliens 3, didn't like it in the beginning, grew on me. I kind of like it, kind of like all the British actors that are in it. Aliens 4, not so good. But there are some aspects of that movie that I really enjoy. Then you got Conviant and Prometheus. Again, 2 movies that I thought, nah, I'm not really enjoying this. But then kind of like, fuck it, yeah, I kind of do enjoy these movies. I think it just takes time for me to digest the fact that, or embrace the fact that these are remade movies. They're never ever going to be the same as like the originals, but just embrace it for what it is. AI is the problem, man. Yeah, I actually built a model kit. One of the, oh, that would be by Aoshima. I know Aoshima did Thunderbird 1, 2, 3, 4. Have you watched Alien Earth? No, man, I haven't. Is it good? Is that part of the Aliens? Is that part of the Aliens saga? Oh, a few Oh, it's on Channel FX. Oh, I'll have a look, man. Yeah, there's a few movies. You might agree with me, Chris. Like the Thing, that remake was all right. There's been a few good remakes that I don't mind. Um, I don't mind. That were done pretty well. I think with Terminator, I think Terminator's done with. Predator, I think there's a new Predator that came out either this year or last year that I haven't seen. I want to watch. I think, what's that? The thing on Netflix. What's it called? Them remade Predator. Shit, with the Navajo Indians. What's it freaking called? That was fucking amazing, bro. Right, right. Yeah, man. I forgot what that movie's called. It's where the alien goes back into like the revolutionary period. Yeah. Yeah, the new Predator movies are alright. Don't mind them. But I do think it's like in the future, right? Are they gonna make another Star Wars movie? That's the big fucking question. I know they will do. They will make some weird. Disney will make some weird Star Wars movie where fucking Luke Skywalker comes back to death. I don't know. Some weird shit will happen. And it'll change the whole timeline of Star Wars. Because, Disney are holding on to that franchise like crazy, right? And they know that if they make something big, it's going to bring in the money. Yeah, Badlands. What? Get the fuck out. Really? As Wayland is in from like Aliens, right? Wayland Corporation. Holy shit. That's insane. Oh, sorry. I did watch the new Aliens with the black cyborg guy. That was all right. I liked it. I enjoyed that one. Yeah, that was the newest movie. Yeah, I was a bit skeptical of it, but I actually enjoyed it. The ending was weird as well. Okay. Oh, well, thanks for the heads up on that, bro. I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I did watch the recent Aliens movie. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It's a lot better than. Yeah, Romulus. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was all right. I enjoyed it. New cast, young cast. Yeah, a bit weird here and there. Should they make like a kind of like Badlands came after Romulus? That would be right then. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, for me, cross genreing two of those movies together seems a little bit weird. But I suppose there's a big appeal for it. Like the whole Aliens versus Predator thing, right? And I think most of like the Alien story's been kind of done now anyway. Making another quote unquote Aliens is possible, but you're never gonna beat the original cast of like Hicks and Hudson, Vasquez, Drake, Apone, Sigourney Weaver. God, man. Great times being for the living in the 80s, mate. Really good time. I find it weird they haven't even made Jim Cameron's Abyss movie. I'm surprised they're not going to do a remake of that. I don't know if you're into the Abyss movie, but I watched that as quite a young kid. Well, Sigourney was going to be in. Yes, that's what I've heard. Yeah, I couldn't believe that, man. I'm kind of a little bit about that. Right? Okay, so look, for me, I know it's a risk, but when they start making reissuing new stuff, it's a bit like that Romulus movie, right? Yes, the actors in there are not the best. It's because we're so used to seeing like the classic like AAA actresses, right? Or actors in those things. But to start a president, I think it's better to have like new cast members that are unknown actors and actresses. So like younger people will grow up with them. I think if you're in like your 40s like me and you that grew up with Sigourney's films, I will never ever see her past the chick out the Ghostbusters or fucking Lieutenant Ripley. Do you know what I mean? It's like Luke Skywalker being in a new fucking genre movie. Oh, it's Luke. Right? He'll only be ever known as Luke Skywalker. That is it. Do you know what I'm saying? I know it's like a calculated risk of having like these newer age actors coming in. But I'd rather see that than like, oh, Sigourney Weaver's going to be in the new Star Wars thing. I'm like, oh, shit, really? Because I can never get my mind past the fact that she's Sigourney Weaver. And I know it's just Disney cash cowing it again. I think she's trying to be in every franchise or something. Is she in debt? Does she have no money? Seriously, man, that's fucked up. That's wild, man. That's wild. Yeah, I heard about that off my friends. Yeah, that's gonna be insane. Oh, Chris, you don't know by any chance what character she's gonna be. But you just said Mandalorian movie. That's gonna be insane, man. I'm totally out of the loop with a lot of stuff, man. Sorry, my bad. But I'm glad you told me that. That'll be good. Should be good. But yeah, like it's like, wasn't it episode? Shit, what episode 3? Yeah, when you saw fucking Han Solo back and fucking Luke. I'm thinking you guys are getting old now. It's kind of weird. It's kind of fucking weird, man. It's kind of weird. Oh, what's the guy who played Darth Vader? Didn't he died? He died this year. Douglas something, whatever his name is. Or more, I think I might be talking about the guy from Predator. Apollo Creed from Rocky. It's pretty wild, man. But yeah, I mean, these Hollywood actors. How much money do you need, man? And I think Ripley, or the clone of Ripley in Aliens 4. I don't know, man. That was a bit weird. Like in Aliens 3, I kind of get it. She was pretty cool in Aliens 3. But like in Aliens 3, I think the director was from France, right? And I think like the original story of Aliens 3 was supposed to have been set on like some weird like planet where it was like a monastery. Yeah. And I think when they were doing the script writing, they actually canned it and replaced it to like that prison. Carl Weathers, yes. Oh, he was in Predator as well. Yeah. Predator, yeah. The planet was made of wood, yeah. Yeah, it was like a weird. I don't know if that would have worked, like being on like a planet full of monks and stuff. I think the prison idea was pretty good. But what fucking killed me about that movie, and I remember playing Aliens 3 on Sega Mega Drive, by the way, and I loved Aliens 3 poster art. It's where they ate the xenomorph and Ripley's sweating, and it's like the xenomorph's internal fucking thing comes out, and she's like sweating. That was a great poster, man. But when I watched it for the first time, oh, did you? Yeah, I've seen the making of that too, man. Yeah, I think isn't it on YouTube? The first scene where you see Newt's, isn't it? Hicks's cryo chamber. They got destroyed, right? Only Ripley survived that. I really wanted to see what was going to happen with like Newt and Ripley. And it was like soul destroying because it's like all that shit they went through on the LV-49, whatever it's called. And it was kind of like Ripley's life is now she's just by herself. And that's what I felt in Aliens 3. Like she had her daughter Ellen died, right? Because she was in space so long. Well, that was Aliens 2. No, that was from Aliens. Right? Oh, Alien. Aliens 2, that's when she discovered that her daughter died. Then obviously she had that massive like relationship with Newt where she like kind of undertook her as like a stepmom mother. And then she passed away. And Hicks, who like fucking battled through, survived last of the colonial marines of that mission. And it was just like I don't know, man, it just like fuck, everything's gone wrong. Everything's gone wrong for Ripley. She's now on this fucking weird not alien planet, on this weird planet way out the solar system, right? From Earth or wherever. And she's like with those criminals. Yeah, it's a crazy movie, man. I remember like, we got to teach the brothers a lesson. But that scene where he just like commit suicide, but he's in that fucking thing where the fucking all the molten lava comes in and he goes, rah! That's fucking wild. That was a wild scene, man. Yeah, I do, man. Yeah. I fucking do. Actually, my mate, you know, you've always got one of those friends that's got a bit of money, right? And he had like a Sega Mega Drive. And yeah, he bought the Aliens 3 game on Sega Mega Drive, which is kind of fucking difficult, by the way. It's quite a hard game, is that? But yeah, the poster art for that movie was sick. Real good. Yeah. I don't know, man. They just cannot make movies like they did back in the day. Everyone's talking about costs and stuff like that. But I did watch the Mazen Bags there. When I watched the making of The Abyss, man, that was fucking wild, man, that movie. Check it out on YouTube, Chris, if you get a chance. Because they actually, some of those actors and actresses actually died making that fucking movie. And they had a lot of set fallouts as well. But what they did is, they hired this fucking thing, like, in America, this like massive, this I don't know what it was. It was like this huge circular like structure. I don't know what it was, silo or something, but it's massive. And Jim Cameron, God bless his soul, like he did in Aliens, he wanted everything to be quite industrial and like real looking. It's like Aliens is, right? And yeah, they filmed it in this, like, well, let's just call it a massive, massive swimming pool. And because it's like so low depth in the movie, they actually filled it full of like these black balls, like billions of these black balls to cover the surface of the water while they were filming it underneath to cut out the light. It's mental, man. Yeah, Ed Harris, yeah. Bro, you've never seen The Abyss, man. Oh, dude, you check that out. It's a really good movie. I won't say too much about it then if you haven't watched it. But don't watch the making of the movie first, by the way. Watch it after. All I will say is this, which might kill it, it might not. But basically, they had like they had different. In the original script notes, they had an idea for the ending, which I think would have been fucking great for the movie. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to say too much, but yeah, it's totally different to what it is like in the real movie. Let's put it that way. Yeah, please do, man. Yeah, it's a really good movie. Yeah, and the whole like Vietnam movie stuff, which I'm a big fan of. I love all the Vietnam movies. Hamburger Hill, Apocalypse, Full Metal, Deer Hunter. All great movies, man. Right, Chris, I'm going to get off, man. I've been streaming like God. We've had a long chat, man. If you're here tomorrow this time and you feel lonely, I'll be back streaming. My kids got swimming school in about an hour, so I have to get them ready. I'm going to get some lunch as well. But Chris M0034, thank you so much for reconnecting with me, man. And we've had a really good spontaneous chat about movies, model kits, Star Wars. It's been great. This is why I want to get back onto my original channel so I can reach out to people like yourself. If I don't catch you, oh, okay, it's getting late for you. If I don't catch you, man, have a happy Christmas and New Year, all that good stuff. But I'll definitely be streaming for Christmas. So I'll be doing like videos in Akihabara, model kits, what's coming out, blah, 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 gaming, nerdy stuff. But thanks for watching, Chris, man. And I'll definitely catch you on the next one, but take care, bro.